Hello, it's Jimmy here again already. So we're going to address some of the comments. I just had a little tea break and I've noticed I got a comment that I get a lot. I'm going to try and paste it right here for you if I can. Have a read of what it is, but basically I get comments like I fixed a boost leak on a Ford S-Max and or the throttle body was sticking and then the DPF blocked up. And the question I get a lot is, surely it doesn't need the DPF cleaning if that was the underlying cause. So I always say find the underlying cause, fix that, then clean your DPF. But if you find the underlying cause, some people say, can you not just find the underlying cause and then reset the fault, take the car for a drive and it will clear itself? This can be done, but it's a very high risk situation. The reason for that is most cars won't allow you to clear the fault code once the DPF's gone above its maximum limit, which is usually, depending on the car, around 60 grams. So if you go above your 60 grams and you try to clear the fault code, it doesn't clear. I tried to make this into a short video if I can, but it's too difficult to explain it in depth without going into it a bit longer. So basically, you can't clear the fault code on most vehicles if it's got a fully blocked DPF because it will be above its limit. If you try and trick it and say it's got a new DPF without cleaning it or without putting a new DPF on it and then resetting the fault codes afterwards, what can happen is your DPF will overheat, melt, get damaged, or even worse, your car will catch fire. So I will tell you, one time we had a situation like this, which is I had a customer with a Ford S-Max. I said, look, we need to clean the DPF, we need to fit your vaporizer and do this. So we fit the vaporizer. He says, I can't afford to do the DPF clean as well as the vaporizer. Can you just fit the vaporizer and I'll come back next week for the clean? So yeah, I said, okay, we'll do that. We fitted the vaporizer. He tried to drive it down the road. The car's in limp mode. He said, oh, the car's in limp mode. I've just paid you to put the vaporizer in. I said, yeah. But he said, oh, but the fault was the vaporizer, so surely that should have fixed it. I said, well, no, it needs a DPF clean. And then he was kind of adamant, like, look, I need you to, if you just reset the DPF for me. I said, we don't really do that. He said, but can you just reset it? It's my responsibility. I said, fine. I'll reset your DPF, even though I shouldn't. And it's your responsibility if anything happens. He said, yeah, that's fine. Reset the DPF for him. Half an hour later, he drives away. And then a half an hour later, he calls back. Oh, I'm stuck on the motorway slip road. Can you come and help me? And I said, well, I'm in the middle of another car repair here, and so I can't just leave this car. And he's moaning, oh, you just fixed the car, now I'm broken down, you got to come and help me. And then I'm in the situation where, look, I've got to now leave this job that I'm doing, lock up this car, pack away my tools, go and try and help this guy because he's stuck on the side of the road because he wanted to save money. And what happens then is the DPF is probably now damaged beyond repair. So instead of saving money, you've now cost more. The DPF likely needs to be replaced, which is going to cost, depending on the car, I think it was around about 1,100 if I can remember rightly for the S-Max, but then you got to fit it as well, so there's extra labour involved. So let's just say off my head £1,500 for your DPF, where it would have cost him less than a quarter of that just to clean it. $260 to clean the DPF, or like I said, you're looking at $1,500, maybe roughly $2,000, maybe even $3,000 depending on the car to replace your DPF. It's much safer to just clean it on the car than it is to do any of this trickery sort of nonsense. Cleaning the DPF on the car doesn't get rid of 100% soot. I've never claimed it has, and it doesn't get rid of 100% of ash. But what it is if you've got a repair done and you've got a blocked DPF, it's a safe way to get the soot level down and get your car back on the road without risking any overheating or over damage. I hope I've explained that right, so I think I'll explain something a little bit further, which is, why will it overheat? If you've got 100 grams of soot in a DPF that's got a maximum limit of 60, so 25 grams is usually the max limit for a car to do a regen. Once it's got to 25 grams, it will regen, burn off that soot, and then you can start the whole process again in a few hundred miles. But if you've got 60 grams, 80 grams, 100 grams, or even more in a DPF, you reset that DPF, you take the car for a drive, all of a sudden you've got a whole bulk of combustible material in your DPF. It's going to burn uncontrollably, and your DPF temperature will go above the 600 degrees where it wants to be. I've seen it happen. You drive it down the road, suddenly within the space of 20 seconds, you've got a DPF jumping from 500 degrees to 1200 degrees in a matter of 5 or 10 seconds once the regen process kicks in, and it's uncontrollable. You can't stop it because it is then combusted. It's on fire. The soot is burning, and you can't control it. Chances are then you've melted your DPF or cracked it, and you now need a new DPF. See what we're doing here on this Mercedes, very common, split boost pipe. We're now flushing out the DPF before we reset the DPF. We flush it out, that gets rid of the soot at less than 50 degrees in the DPF. So we're not risking getting this DPF up to 1000 degrees before we reset default, or after we reset default, I mean. So that's the explanation for that. I get this comment a lot. You do, like, it's, I'd say you call it like a sort of, like a smart arse comment, but not everyone is. I mean, some people are just curious, can't you do that? But a lot of people will, I get a lot of people comment on there saying, you don't need to do that. I've done it before. You just reset default, take it for a drive it like you stole it, all that sort of comment. None of that will work. And the chances are, if it does work, you've probably damaged your car, or you've done a major, why risk it? Not only melting the DPF, like I said, if you are unlucky, depending on the type of car, Vauxhall Saphiras and Insignias are very common for it. If your DPF overheats, it's very close to the floor of the car, your interior of your car can catch fire. And then you've got a car that's on fire. If you've got kids in it, why take the risk? We always take this process, clean it out at a low temperature, and test drive the car for half an hour before we return it to the customer. Anyway, that's just a little explanation video there for this comment. It's a little bit different to my normal videos. Obviously, got a Fiat Ducato there that's just left on a test drive, and now we've got this Mercedes C-Class that Dominic's on there. I hope that explains everything well enough for you, and see you on our next video.